Oh, did you?
My granddaughter plays, she's on the varsity team at Carrollton
Okay,
as a freshman,
okay,
so she's pretty good.
yeah,
We went down to see that, and that was pretty good.
that's awesome. Yeah, we'll play against Carrollton. I used to coach the girls team, but it's been a couple of years.
They go at it.
They do. Girls are vicious. They're more vicious than the boys are in some ways.
I was really surprised. My granddaughter is. She's pretty fast.
Yeah.
And she can kick.
All right, welcome everyone to the City of Villa Rica Planning Commission's February 27th meeting. This is a call to order. We have everybody here, which means that this is a quorum. So, next up is the adoption of the agenda. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Motion.
We have a motion to adopt the agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion to adopt the agenda and a second. All those in favor raise their right hands. All opposed? Next up is old business. Has everybody got a copy of their minutes?
Yeah, the only comment I have with the minutes, define, was stated there were 8 people in attendance, or approximately 8. I have never seen so many people at a planning and zoning meeting as we had the last time, but it says approximately. I'm fine with that. I move approval of the minutes as presented.
Second.
We have a motion to approve and a second to approve the minutes. All those in favor raise their right hand. All opposed? Minutes are approved. Next up is new business, rezoning. As presented by Lenny's Lyons.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Commission. Tonight, RA 0518, William K., Sally B., and Sandy Johns of Villa Rica request rezoning for property located at 78 Harold Road, Villa Rica, Georgia. Parcel number V04-012-0049 in land lot 193 of the 6th District in Carroll County. Currently zoned R20, single-family residential to OI office institutional. The property consists of .73 plus or minus acres and is located in Ward 3. As the staff report indicates, they're requesting a rezoning. This property is located pretty close to a medical facility right along State Route 61. The applicant's requesting for the rezoning for a small medical office. As the staff report states, the future land use map designates that property as general commercial or as commercial, which is compatible with an O&I zoning. We feel that it'll be good to support the other medical type uses in the area. There's an assisted living facility directly across the street. A little bit further down Highway 61, there are some other medical uses, smaller offices and larger medical facilities. Staff notes that adequate parking facilities and other necessary improvements should be installed prior to occupancy, but otherwise we are recommending approval with the following conditions. Permitted uses limited to business, medical, dental, and professional offices. And per the Unified Development Code, all improvements to be installed prior to occupancy.
Okay. Thank you much. All right, first up is if the applicant or a representative of the applicant would step forward and give us your name and address and the reason we should consider this rezoning.
My name is William K. Ken Johns, and we live at 2114 Osprey Cove. That's just off Reflections, just off Stockmar. And long-time residents here. We grew up. My wife and I both grew up here. In fact, we're wondering if the jail is still underneath us. We bought this property probably 10 years ago. We felt at the time that it would go commercial one day. The Willowbrook facility. The property next door to ours is already a zone O&I. There are 2 lots between us and Willowbrook, and they are zoned OI, and just a short distance from Tanner and just across 61, there's a new drugstore going in, we understand, which was approved last summer. And we feel like it's going that direction. The land use permit shows that it is, and we'd like to request the zoning based on that.
Any questions for the applicant?
You currently own the property. You do not live in the house
No,
that's
sir.
there?
No, sir.
Is it
It's current-
occupied?
Yes, sir. It's currently rented.
And what are your plans with the house?
Well, you mean as far as the renter is concerned? or-
Well, with the renter, but also, I assume you're going to do some significant modification to the
Like
facility?
who's going in there? Would it be,
At this point in time, we do not have a buyer.
okay,
We wanted to jump ahead of this thing because I know with the drugstore last summer, the owner had a sale on it, I think for $160,000. But because it was not zoned, the bank pulled out and he ended up selling for a good bit less than that. So we'd like to get ahead of the game on this.
So you're not intending to renovate the house and convert it to a medical office or anything like that? You're going to resell it,
That's what we would hope to do, yes, sir.
and then the new buyer will have to make the improvements and bring it to code?
Yes, sir, unless we negotiated, for us to do that. as part of
My,
the sale.
my comment then is that in addition to the other, whatever, whether it's a tear down, rebuild, or whatever else they do, but, and we said in here, made a remark about parking, but not just parking ingress and egress. It's a roadside ditch there, and in my humble opinion, that culvert pipe needs to be improved and the driveway widened, because right now there's no way two cars could get in and out at the same time, and I'm a little concerned, if there's a lot of traffic or anything, just sight lines and that sort of stuff. But if somebody else if you're gonna sell it to somebody, then that's their red wagon, and I assume that would be caught at permit time.
All in the design phase, all that stuff will be carried out.
okay.
All right, that's all I got.
A question, I guess really to staff. Item 8 on the material only addresses sewer and does not say anything about water. Is water available at that site? Okay. It didn't say that in item 8, so. That's all the question I have.
Everybody good? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Would anyone else like to speak in favor of this proposal? All right, no takers. Is there anyone in opposition to this request? Okay.
Have we heard any opposition at all from community?
Oh, let me do something real quick. There being no opposition at this point, the public section of this discussion is closed. Now, staff comments.
As of to date, we've not received any phone calls or letters back or any inquiries regarding the rezoning.
Gotcha. All right, thanks. Any other questions for staff? All right, is there a motion?
I move approval of the rezoning as presented with the conditions that were outlined.
A second.
We have a motion and a second to approve with the conditions as outlined. All those in favor, raise their right hand. All opposed? Okay, at this point, just make sure you go to the city council next meeting where it'll be brought forward, and our recommendation will be passed on to them, but they have the final decision, so, and actually the only decision, so be sure not to miss that. So, what is it, 6 o'clock on?
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. Next Tuesday. All right, thank you. All right, next up is staff comments.
Just very quickly, as for a monthly report, we've been in, communicating back and forth with our consultant for the comprehensive plan update. The next steering committee meeting will be April 17th at the library. And then the following I think that's a Tuesday. And then April 19th, we'll have our first public meeting at the library where the consultant will be present, staff will be present, and the public's invited out to hear about really some of the results of the survey and to maybe do some interactive type of activities to get their more input from the public as the consultants move forward. So that is a quick update of what's going on with our comp plan.
Could I ask what kind of interaction you've had with the steering committee? Because I have heard nothing.
Right, that, and we have not, the consultant is squarely in charge of reaching out to you guys if they needed more information. I'm imagining, anticipating that they'll be in more contact with you all, but, well, far prior to the next meeting date to, first of all, let you guys know, and second to kind of get your input on your areas of expertise. So that's been my understanding of.
To your knowledge, have they been doing anything other than the surveys?
They've been working. I've been working with them on the GIS data. Bobby and I both have trying to sort through some of our old and new GIS data to kind of get the land use map together and other things. But that's been, I know, that's what we worked on in the past 2 weeks, is kind of getting a good gathering and getting a good handle on all of our data, which took a bit of effort because we kind of carry it on the external hard drive and coordinating that effort.
Okay, so at least something is happening.
We are making, things are happening. I'll make a note to let them know that the steering committee is eager to hear from them.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Did you say those dates were 17th and 19th of April?
That's right.
Any update from the city council meeting as far as our prior submissions or?
They tabled
Did they table it? Oh, the one item, I think it was like one item.
Yes.
The previous zoning case,
Yeah, they just tabled that?
it was at the request of the applicant that it be tabled.
Okay, I think I saw that, okay.
For 30 days to come back and speak with staff. Bobby has more information than I do.
Okay, no, just,
He can give you an update. Mr. Riley.
Yeah, we've got it back on the next Tuesday's mayor and council agenda. I spoke with the applicant. He was in my office yesterday, and he's not a polished
Businessman.
We all saw the same
he
thing.
doesn't feel
Yes.
comfortable at the podium as me sometimes, or as I, but I advised him on some pointers to not go too far offline with his answers, and he feels a lot better about his application. He's decided to not do the equipment storage. He got an opportunity where he is currently. The gentleman that owns the site approached him to possibly sell it to him, and he's agreed to buy it. So he's looking at doing a 4 or 5 parcel development, limited industrial development, whatever exactly the code will allow him to do.
Okay.
That's what he's looking to do.
next to Black Diamond.
Yes.
Did he, what was my brain, did he actually buy the property, or is it still like on an option thing? Or?
I'm not sure. I
Okay.
think he's got an option on it, but he does feel more comfortable, and he's scheduled to be back next Tuesday to council.
Okay.
With those changes, do we have to rehear it?
No, he's the conditions that that y'all approved will still apply if the council carries forward. And quite honestly, most of those conditions, if he develops it, are going to be required anyway.
Yeah.
The code's going to make him do, the wide buffers and that kind of thing. So, he got really nervous with the questions the council was asking him. He went into a couple of areas that I did an eye roll with it. I'm like, where did that come from? But anyway, he did think fast on his feet and ask council to table it if they would, to give him a chance to get more comfortable with what he wanted to do. And that's where he is.
Okay.
All right, thank you. And did you have anything else, or?
No, if we want to move to the next item.
Yes,
Mr.
yeah.
Chairman, yeah, you know, I presented y'all with the draft development regulation revision, and I've gone through it about 9 times. I didn't change any of the content at all, other than clean up some typos and fix some spacing and that kind of stuff in the format of the document. And I would really appreciate it if we could get Planning Commission to pass this forward with a vote to council, because mayor and council have not seen this. I have not presented it to them at all, other than I think we've had a couple of glances by one of our council members. But with each day that passes, you know, I think you may have heard staff comment that we've had several inquiries with some new projects that are coming down the road. And I'm afraid with some of the outdated stuff that our requirements that we have in the old code book, we're trying to beat, you know, those projects if we can, to get them up to standard, current standard. And until we can get this adopted and get it through council, I'm stuck with the old book. So, but that being said, you know, I'm anxious to move forward with it if we can.
Is there a motion to approve?
Moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve moving forward with this request to the city council, and we have a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed? Moving on.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, it's not as though we haven't looked at this.
we-
Some of us have poured over it and have met with Tom and, or with Bobby and have, you know, this is a needed document.
Yes, very comprehensive.
I mean, do you want our draft copies back?
Yes, because this, as much as I enjoyed reading this,
I will take them back, but no, I don't need them. We'll recycle them.
Okay, well, that's what I'm gonna do with it then if you don't. well,
Yeah, if you want to do that, it's fine. If it would be great if you can keep the notebooks if you need them, but I can use them.
Okay. And so will we get a new revised,
Yes,
okay,
you will.
once this is passed by the council?
Like I said, I've cleaned up a bunch, and I haven't reprinted the final document yet. Of course, that's the final document before it goes to council. I'll probably have to do a couple,
Yeah.
3 other iterations before I'm done. So, you know, it's just up to you. I can take them back, or, you know, you can recycle it.
you can have mine.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'll get it to you.
Okay. All right. All right. Anything else? If there's nothing else, next up is public comment. If a group wishes to speak, one person must be designated to speak for the group. We got lots of groups here this evening. Please sign the sign-in sheet with your name and address. All public comments are limited to 10 minutes. Do we have any takers for public comment, otherwise known as open mic night?
I move we adjourn.
Oh, no, that's, don't steal my thunder. That being said, there is no public comment because nobody wants to talk. So we'll close that section out. Now, is there a motion for adjournment?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
And we have a second to adjourn. All those in favor, raise your right hand. We're adjourned.
Well, good luck.
Thank you. Go
Thank you.
Wildcats.